You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Hop on YouTube, welcome to the hood table, where we chop up local and global events vocally. You don't really wanna miss out on these conversations. Just joke a little, laugh a little, get that wine in your system, fill your glass a little. Expose current events, talk trash a little. You never know, these opinions might clash a little. They addicted to the content, got them binge watching. You don't like it, then you want invited. Bet your friends watching in the house and in your job parking lot before you clock in. I don't wanna miss a second of this HT content. Everybody think they got something to say, so it's an open invitation, bring it to the table. But if you come whack, just know we ain't buying in. We gon' probably turn your back and tell you sorry, try again. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable.
Hey, come on in, y'all. We back on the hood table.
You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Hop on YouTube, welcome to the hood table, where we chop up local and global events vocally. You don't really wanna miss out on these conversations. Just joke a little, laugh a little, get that wine in your system, fill your glass a little. Expose current events, talk trash a little. You never know, these opinions might clash a little. They addicted to the content, got them binge watching. You don't like it, then you want invited. Bet your friends watching in the house and in your job parking lot before you clock it. They don't wanna miss a second of this HD content. Everybody think they got something to say, so it's an open invitation, bring it to the table. But if you come whack, just know we ain't buying in. We gon' probably turn your back and tell you sorry, try again. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable.
Hey! What's up, my The Hood Table family, fam bam friends, supporters, followers, subscribers, this, that, and the third. Welcome back, welcome back. We just finished a different review about an hour ago, 30 minutes ago. And that was on Ruthless, season 1, episode 16. Yeah, so if you missed that one, and if you are a Ruthless fan, please check that one out. Make sure you guys like this video, share the video, subscribe to The Hood Table. If you are on Facebook, make sure you come on over to The Hood Table and subscribe to The Hood Table, DAHOOD Table, thehoodtable.com. Now, that is also our website. We are also on Facebook, IG, Twitter. Facebook, IG, Twitter, yeah, and thehoodtable.com. So follow us everywhere. We are everywhere, you guys. But yes, this episode that we're doing right now, this review is going to be on Power Book 2, Ghost, Season 1, Episode 6, Good versus Evil was the title of the show. Please make sure you let me know what you think about the show, the characters, the storylines, all that, this, that, and the third. This episode I thought was really, really good. It's been a long hiatus. I mean, from episode 5 to now, episode 6 was just came on yesterday. It's been some months since we seen Power. So let's jump right into it. First of all, we're gonna do a quick recap, a really quick recap. So last episode before the mid-season break, we saw at a party Tariq. He had stopped by at a party where his friends Brayden was, and he had accepted a drink that was supposed to be for Brayden. That drink was actually spiked by Sax's niece, Riley, to give to Brayden in hopes of spilling tea on Tariq. Remember Sax? He had sent his niece, Riley, to basically spy on Tyreek, find out what he's up to, so he can get some dirt on him, because he seriously believes that Tyreek has something to do with his father Ghost's murder. But Brayden, after getting extremely pissed off at Riley because she was just asking way too many questions about Tariq, and he was like, "Damn, why are you so interested in my friend Tariq instead of me?" So he ended up storming off away from Riley. He then came across Lauren, who he has an interest in, the beautiful Lauren. He likes Lauren, and so does Tyreek. But anyway, he came across Lauren, who he has the hots for, and so he ended up handing off his spiked drink that was spiked by Riley. He handed it off to Tariq and told Tariq to loosen up at the same time. Tariq did loosen up all right. As y'all remember, before the mid-season break, Tariq, he took that drink. He ended up getting drunk as hell because, remember, Tariq, he is not a drinker. He doesn't drink. He doesn't do drugs. So after he got drunk, he was in his feelings. He went to visit his father's ghost gravesite. And while there, he got to rambling and crying about what he had to do. Tariq had no idea that he was being followed by Sax that night, nor did he realize that Sax was recording him on his cell phone. So Sax recorded Tariq telling his father Ghost. Of course, the ghost is dead, but you know how we do when we talking to the people who passed on. He was up there crying and rambling on, and he said, "You were in the way. I had to do it." So Sax took that as an admission of guilt, like Tariq confessing to the murder of his father Ghost. So now we are on season 6, and again, it's called Good versus Evil. And Saxon McClain was discussing that video footage that Sax had got when he was following Tariq. And Sax tells McClain that he believes Tariq just admitted to killing Ghost on that video, but that's not enough proof, as it most likely wouldn't be admissible in court. So now the plan was for McClain to back off the recusal and take it to trial. McClain and Sax are planning to work together to put Tariq behind bars and get Tasha off at the same time. Now, if McClain can get Tariq to take the stand, then Tariq can be attacked by Sax on the cross-examination. That would, of course, be a win-win situation for the both of them. McClain will win the case of the year, and Sax, in return, he would get his killer, who he believed killed Ghost. So while Tariq was in class, he gets a call from his mother, Tasha. Tasha explained how she asked for a deal. She remember before the break, she had asked for a deal. She decided that's what she was going to do because she didn't want Tariq to go to jail. So McClain, basically, he ignores Tasha's request for a deal, and he insists on going to trial, believing that he can win. Of course, Tariq knows that would probably mean some could be potentially convicted for Ghost murder. So during the jury selection procedure, McClain and Sax, they were really playing it up. They even had the judge fooled. The judge told them that they had better play it cool because she knows a little bit about the both of them, especially Sax. So she told them they better play it cool unless one of them wants to end up with a Batson charge or in contempt. Now, when they got to Dr. Quinones, I'm like, Judge, do you see this? Do you see what's going on? The judge, she couldn't even believe that Sax had selected him, Dr. Quinones, out of all the jurors, he had selected him as a juror, and there was no objection from McClain. So the judge was like, "Are you sure? Are you positive? You want this person?" Oh, okay, all right. The judge was just looking as confused and shit. But it was no objection from McClain, so therefore the jury stays. Now the judge, I believe, should have known right then and there that something was foul. Something was fishy. It was smelling like fish up in the air. But she didn't do anything. She didn't do anything. But not only was the judge confused, so was Paula. Paula couldn't understand why McClain would take it to court, knowing that they could possibly get a mistrial. But to McClain, a mistrial to him is still a win. Tasha wouldn't be found guilty. Tasha wouldn't go to jail. So a mistrial to him was still a win. But McClain, he was really convinced, that they was going to win. So he tried convincing Paula. We'll eventually, get the verdict that we are hoping for. They're going to get the verdict that they're supposed to. But she has no idea what she's up to. But did you see the look on her face when he walked away? And when she said, "Who is Francis Johnson?" She said, "Who is Francis Johnson?" Because McClain said, "First things first, you need to get me prepped for Sax's first witness, which is Francis Johnson." Now, a lot of y'all might not know him by his government name, but Francis Johnson is Too Big. So Francis Johnson, aka Too Big, is who Paula was supposed to get McClain prepped for, which is Sax's first witness. Too Big, he works for Tommy Egan. Two-Bit works for Tommy Egan. He used to work for Dre Coleman. He was pulled away from his cell by Sax and McClain. Sax was threatening to compel Two-Bit to be a witness. That's how bad he needed him to be a witness. But Two-Bit has been reading up on his free time in jail. He's been reading up on his amendments on, regarding his rights. So he knows that he can't do that. He was like, you cannot compel somebody in jail to be a witness against their own will. But Two-Bit, he has been reading up on his rights. He was like, hey, I don't know what else he been doing in jail, but he definitely knew that amendment. But he had me hollering. McClain, he told Two-Bit when he went to see him, because Sax went to see him, McClain went to see him. They both trying to get him to testify and get on the stand. McClain said, he was like, who the hell are you? I'm the black motherfucker that's Santa Claus. He told him he's the black mofo Santa Claus, and I'm about to give you the gift of the century. But you have to allow him to be his attorney. McClain was willing to be his attorney for free because he knows that it's going to most likely work out on his end. So, Two-Bit at first, he didn't trust Blanca. They brought Blanca in. He don't trust Blanca because he knows Blanca set him up. He don't trust Sax. He don't trust McClain, who he doesn't know, even though he says he's the black mofo Santa Claus. He ain't saying mofo because I don't want to say the whole curse word. But he told him he was a black mofo Santa Claus. So he don't trust any of them. But then he decided, anyway, okay, I might be able to get off. McClain is promising him he'll get out. Sax is promising him he'll get out. So he decided to go ahead and hire McClain for free on promises that he will get out of jail. But on the stand, I was like, because McClain and Sax supposed to be working together. But on the stand, Two-Bit testifies that he's not aware of Ghost Crew. Now, for some reason, hey, Deanna, what's going on? I don't know if you watched the most recent episode of Ghost, the spinoff, but it was good, honey. It was good. On the stand, Two-Bit, he had testified that he's not aware of Ghost Crew. Now, for some strange reason, they are under the impression that Ghost might be Tommy Egan. But we know that Ghost is James St. Patrick. So, Two-Bit, he testified that he's not aware of anybody in a crew or anybody named Ghost. He also stated that there's no way a white guy like Tommy Egan, who they are labeling as Ghost, could be running a major drug organization in Queens, New York. On that matter, he also denied knowing Tasha, stating that if some woman was running a drug organization, he, of all people, would know about it. Girl, you said you haven't watched in a long time. Why is my youngest son, my 19-year-old, I guess his friends was telling him, man, did you watch the latest episode of Power? And he's up there like, I don't watch Power. And all his friends was like, you don't watch Power? And he said, no, but my mom watched Power. And she's been doing reviews on her YouTube channel of the show since the very beginning of Power. If you guys want to see all my reviews, some of them are on my channel, Tanya's Primetime TV, before I started over here on the Hood Table. But yeah, and they was like, man, your mama watch Power and do reviews and you don't watch the show? So then my son comes up to me today and says, Mom, why didn't you tell me to watch Power? I said, you lying. I don't know how many times I didn't told y'all over the years. Did y'all watch Power? Make sure y'all don't record over my Power because I always got it on DVR every week, like with the rest of my favorite shows. So I'm like, boy, quit lying. I done told you all about Power and asked you many times why you don't watch Power. I think my other son watches it, but he don't live here anymore, but I don't know if he watches it. So now my youngest son, my 19-year-old, is watching Power, and he had to start all the way from season 1 on the original Power before the spinoff. So he got a long way to go. So I told him I'm doing a review on season 1, episode 6 of the spinoff tonight. So You might not want to tune in because it's going to be a lot of spoilers. But yeah, I was like, no, you didn't say I didn't tell you about that boy. Bye. But anyway, as far as Two Bit being involved in the organization, he stands firm. When he was on trial, he stood firm that he was set up by Blanca Rodriguez, the crooked cop. But is McLean really working with Sachs, y'all? Because I was getting a little bit confused. Like the entire courtroom, they was gasping when Two Bit told Sachs that he had gave him transactional immunity. As long as he showed up, took the stand, answered the question to the best of his abilities, he'd end up, holding up his end of the bargain, his end of the deal. Two Bit was like, yeah, I got a lawyer. And then Sachs turned around and looked at McLean like, oh, really? I see. I don't think he saw that coming, that McLean was going to be his lawyer. And then, just like McLean promised, Two Bit also got released from jail. Released from jail. But moving right along, away from that, let's discuss Kane, Diana, Monet, Drew, and the crew. Kane is under the impression that his little sister Diana is having sex with Tariq. The only sibling who is actually having sex though is Drew. Drew's sexual preference or him sleeping around, with Everett is no secret to Diana or their mother Monet. But this again leads me to wonder if Kane has any idea that his brother Drew is gay. Not only that, but if Kane does know, how does he feel about it? Kane was pissed off. He was outraged. He was upset at the idea that he thought Tariq was actually sleeping with his sister. So Diana, she looked at Drew and was like, please, could you please tell him I'm not the one mom's talking about being in somebody's bed. I'm not the one sleeping around. Drew didn't even defend her. He didn't say anything in her defense. Instead, he said he's the one who knows how to keep his mouth shut. Now, that was a dig at Diana, right? That was a dig at Diana. You said, I haven't watched TV in a while. Have they been long enough for a spinoff? Yeah. The original series, the original Ghost Power, it was 6 seasons. It was 6 seasons. And then after the 6 seasons, they did a spinoff, and it's basically called Power Book 2. In the original season, at the very end, Ghost had been allegedly killed. Allegedly, he's dead. He's buried 6 feet deep. Some people don't believe. Matter of fact, one of the people that tune into my shows a lot, Edward, y'all done probably seen him because he jumps on our StreamYard on Friday Night's Live, but he really believes that Ghost is not dead. And he really thinks that Ghost is playing behind the scenes and helping Tariq and telling Tariq what to do, telling Tariq how to move, telling Tariq, the next plays. Me personally, I'm not so sure. I really hope that Ghost isn't dead, but I'm not so sure. But some people, just like Tupac, they believe Ghost is still alive. So I don't know. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about that. Do y'all really think Ghost is dead? Or do y'all really think Ghost is alive? And one day during this new spinoff, he is going to pop up. Now, I would love to see that happen, but I don't know. I don't know if it's going to happen. But anywho, when Drew told Kane that he knows how to keep his mouth shut, that was a dig at Diana, who Drew thinks will have a problem keeping his secret. And that's another reason why I say, does Kane really know that his brother Drew is gay? Because when Drew took that dig at her and said, I know how to keep a secret, I know how to keep my mouth shut, I'm assuming that Kane is the only one who doesn't know that his brother is gay. And if he does know, he certainly isn't acting like it. But anywho, unconvinced that Diana was telling the truth, Kane, he went ahead and he grabbed his gun. He headed out to pay Tariq a visit. Monique, thinking her kids are too spoiled, she sets them up to handle counting the money and breaking down the bricks while Kane was out. So she took, I guess, the job that Al is normally supposed to do. Owl as in OWL. Monet, she tells her kids to do it. She sticks them down in that room, wherever it was. I don't know if it was a warehouse or wherever. And she had her daughter count up. She said, put all this money in bands, stack them up, count them. She had Drew, and I'm thinking, Drew breaking down bricks. I would have never thought. I would have never thought that Drew know anything about breaking down bricks. But I guess she got all her kids schooled on how to run their drug business. Now, her daughter, Diana, and Kane, I would think would have a lot of knowledge on how to break the drugs down. But Drew, I was just really surprised about that. But anywho, in the middle of breaking down those bricks, though, Everett, the basketball player, was blowing up Drew's phone. He kept trying to make excuse why he needs to go visit Everett. Diana kept telling him, "Don't do it. Ma's gonna get mad. Monet is gonna be pissed." She told him, "Don't answer their phone. Don't use their phone. Do that work, and then be done with it." Drew makes his way to see Everett anyway. Now Everett, he's not quite ready for the world to know he is gay. He plays basketball. He's in that frame of mind where if he, comes out the closet while he's playing basketball, then a lot of people won't respect him as much, or they might judge him, or like for example, Zeke, who is Monet's nephew. Like he don't think Zeke could treat him the same. He won't hand him the ball as much, things like that. And I'm sure that's a lot of things that athletes, whether pro or college, think about when they are in the closet. But anyway, he still wants to have sex with Drew though. He don't want to come out the closet. He's afraid of not being able to play pro basketball if somebody found out. But he still wants to continue having sex with Drew so long as Drew can keep his secret. After a round of sex, Everett, he receives from his tutor a study guide with a side of Drew's family pills. Now, Drew didn't know that Everett was doing drugs, but he knows now. And he also knows that the drugs that he's doing is from his family's stash, which Tariq is supposed to be selling on campus. So after seeing the package, Drew, he tried to figure out the connection between the drugs and the tutor. Before he could figure that out, though, Diana, being sent by Monet, was at the door to bring him back home. Diana, she did, in fact, figure out that Tariq is behind the Course Correct tutoring app and drug connection. And of course, she relays that information. She shares that information with Monet, including the fact that Tariq is charging the kids triple the price. Tariq is on the come up, y'all. Tariq is on the come up, y'all. He is charging triple the price. So not only is he making money for Monet, he's making money for him and some. So all this extra money, of course, is going to his mother's attorney, putting money on his books, on Tasha's books, and for his mother's attorney, which is McLean. So now, as far as Kane, though, let's get back to Kane. In his search for Tariq, Kane comes across Braden and his brother Trace. Now, remember episode 5 before the break, Trace, he had found Braden's stash. He didn't know that stash wasn't just personally Braden's. That stash, of course, was what Monet had gave to Tariq to sell on campus. So technically speaking, it was Kane's stash. So Kane, he came across Braden and his brother Trace, and the brothers was in the middle of fighting over Trace stealing, Tariq and Braden's pill stash. Man, Braden, his brother, had no idea who the hell he was popping off to. Trace was popping off to Kane, talking about take your ghetto ass back to. Man, before he knew it, Trace found himself staring at the end of Kane's gun. I'm not sure, and I said this before the break. I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure why Tariq thought it was smart to reveal to Braden, that the family, the names, Tyreek gave him the names. He gave him the mama name. He gave him the son's name. He gave him the daughter name. He gave all the information on the family where he's getting the drugs from and the way he's selling the drugs and everything. I don't know why he thought it was a smart thing to do. I really don't know. But anyway, next thing you know, Kane, he has the two of them, Braden and Trace. He has the two of them on the corner. They now corner boys. He put them on the corner, had them slanging his drugs. He's like, oh, so y'all want to have in the business. Y'all know my name. Y'all know my mama name. Y'all know what we do. Y'all know where the stash come from. So y'all must want to be in a drug gang. So he put them out on the corner and told them to slang them pills. Braden, who I suspected, he had no problem selling his entire stash. But on the other hand, his scary ass brother, he just happened to run across some thugs who tries to steal his stash while kicking his butt at the same time. They done bust him over the head with a bottle, bust his lip, his black his eye. They did all kind of shit. And the whole time he was just scared, just crying. I'm like, this boy, this bougie boy, he needs to, he don't even need to come back to the campus no more. And I'm sure he won't come back to the campus or steal any drugs from his brother Braden anymore. But if it wasn't for Monet's side piece, you know, the NYPD officer, Danilo Ramirez, Officer Morales, if it wasn't for him, Braden and Trace both would have been picked up for slanging for being corner boys. So thankfully, Ramirez, he ran across them. He happened to hear a 911 call. Somebody, a neighbor, somebody in the community on the block. They didn't call and reported two white boys, two strange white boys who they ain't never seen before on the block as corner boys. They up here on the block on two separate blocks. So it was really peculiar, you know, to the neighborhood. Like, okay, where these white boys come from? One over here, one over there. So, you know, somebody called the cops. I'm sure they probably called the cops, not because they were slanging, but because they were white. And they probably would end up murdered, like Braden's brother. If they wouldn't have came up on him in time, him and Kane, Braden's brother probably would have been chalk, a chalk layout on the corner. That's probably what he would have been. But anywho, so Ramirez, he happened to hear his call and he showed up before any other cop could hold him in. Ramirez also checks Kane on his behavior. Somebody needed to check Kane on his behavior. I didn't think it was gonna be Ramirez, but Ramirez definitely checked Kane on his behavior. Kane didn't want to hear it. He was popping off, talking back, talking about you work for me. Nope. Y'all all work for Tejada. Y'all all work for Tejada. Kane works for his father. Monet works for his father. Drew, all of them, including the cop, the shady cop, Ramirez, they all work for the Hada. But that's one thing that Kane doesn't understand. He might think he running the streets out there, but he's still working for his father, and his father got the final say. So, anywho, he checked Kane on his behavior, but he also checked his mother, Monet, as well. Now, everyone, including Monet, knows that Kane's behavior is way out of line. He is uncontrollable right now. And he's also bad for business. But will she eventually allow Ramirez to put Kane back in line like Ramirez suggested? He told her somebody needs to get him back in line. His father is in prison, serving life. So somebody, some man, some father figure needs to put him back in line. Will Monet allow Ramirez to put Kane back in line? Y'all let me know what y'all think. Somebody needs to put him in line. Because Monet, she seems not to be getting through to him at all. Like when they were arguing, when he came back home and Monet was trying to check him on his behavior, did you see how he knocked Monet to the ground? He knocked his mama to the ground. He didn't even help pick her up. He was just like, he was uncontrollable. Now it might have been a fit of rage that he knocked her on the ground and not on purpose, but he still was out of line and he still was disrespectful to his sister and Monet. So as a result, when visiting his father Tejada, in jail, Tejada, after visiting him and, telling him what he thinks about what's going on and everything, Tejada gives him a hug, gives him some love, and he sends him on his way, and he thinks it's all good. Kane think it's all good in the hood. When he got outside of that visiting room, his father Tejada set it up so that all the guards were surrounding Kane and the doors locked. And Kane already knew what was about to happen. So he got ready. He got in his stance. He started swinging on them, but they whooped his ass. Had all on the ground. They was stomping the mess out of him. So Tejada set it up for the Canes to set up for Kane to get a lesson. Afterwards, he bent down in Kane's face and told him, "You bet not ever, ever put your hands on my wife, Monet, again." So y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. Do y'all think Kane got the message? Do y'all think he got the message? Do y'all think that this is gonna make matters worse? Do you think it's gonna make matters better? I personally think it's gonna make matters worse for everyone. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about that. Y'all let me know. And make sure again you guys like the video, share the video. If you are watching from Facebook, please make sure let me pull the banner up so you guys can see it. Make sure you like and share the video and subscribe to our The Hood Table channels across the bottom of the screen. Make sure you subscribe to The Hood Table on YouTube, and it's The Hood Table. And you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, IG, and also our website is thehoodtable.com, where you can find our link to our The Hood Table store and get you The Hood Table merchandise. And you can also sign up to receive our monthly newsletter over there on the Hood Table website, thehoodtable.com. On that note, everybody, like and share the video, subscribe to the Hood Table. I hope you are enjoying the show and the reviews. Stay safe, be blessed, and I'm out. Bye.